back to my channel and my kitchen, which is a disaster. I don't think you can really see, yeah, a mess. Anyways, I know it's been a while since I've been back on here, but I'm not gonna make an excuse. It's been a while. It's been hard for me to get a video together. Haven't been baking a lot, so I haven't had a lot of content to make anyway. Blah, blah, blah. I have a lot to do today. It is a Saturday for me. It's been a busy week and I need a good reset day. So I'm gonna do a little time lapse of me cleaning my kitchen. And then I want to I'm gonna try to make mozzarella cheese today. We have some skim milk. The reason it's skim, it's raw milk. The reason it's skim is because we used the cream to make very, very delicious ice cream. And now I want to do something with that skim milk and not let it go to waste. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna see what it's like to make yogurt out of that skim milk. It's not like completely skim. I couldn't tell you what percentage it is. I can never get all the cream all the way off. So hopefully the little bit of fat will help all the products I want to make. And I'm gonna do that. And then I started back in the fall, I made like my own version of a cornbread. Actually, it was still the winter because it was for my birthday. But it was my own version of sourdough cornbread without adding any additional flour, so that I could just use discard and not have to worry about like an overnight fermentation or something. So I'm gonna see if after I get all this cleaned up, if I can perfect that recipe a little bit, because it was a little too sweet, which I wanted sweet cornbread. That's what I like, but it was a little too sweet. And I'm gonna try sweeten it with honey this time instead of sugar. Ramble, ramble, ramble. That's the plan today. I also need to season my cast iron because they're looking a little dry and sad. And so I will get to that today too. So I think I'm gonna like split some of this up into different videos. Like I might do the cheese one as like a separate video. But the rest of it, I think I'm gonna show you, because obviously you've already seen me make yogurt and I don't want to bake nothing on this channel today. So reset with me, bake with me, and get not all the things, but a lot of things done. Most of everything done. My dish is all done. They're not put away. I'm now going to start on my cast irons. They need to be cleaned. I did not clean them after breakfast this morning. I believe, what I'm gonna do, especially this big one, because I know it's the most dried out, or least seasoned, that pan that I have at the moment. I am just gonna scrub it with soap and water, make sure everything's off. I'm gonna dry it in the oven, and then I'm gonna use ghee to season it today. In the past, I've used olive oil. I know some people who make like their cast iron seasoning specifically. I think they use flaxseed oil, or maybe just flax oil. Is there a difference? I don't know. They make like a whole concoction. I'm just gonna use oil, and I'm gonna use ghee because I want to see what it does. So that's my plan right now, and you can watch how I do it.
Now, in case you're like, whoa, what in the world is she doing? You're not supposed to put soap on cast iron. I would say as a general rule, that's correct. However, the purpose of me doing it is to add the seasoning back on. And the reason that you don't want to use soap is because it strips the seasoning. So on a day where I'm specifically re-seasoning it, I'm not worried about using the soap on it. I don't want to like re-season any food back onto it, which probably sounds gross, but that is why I wanted to scrub them completely clean, just to start with a clean slate and get them really nice and well oiled. And here's where I'm just kind of showing you where it's dried out. You can see there's lighter spots and darker spots, and the lighter is where the seasoning has just come off of it, and that's why I'm doing this. And then they went into the oven. This is just the first time for them to dry.
Okay, well, now that those are clean, they've been in the oven drying, so they're gonna be a little bit hot. I'm just gonna take them out of the oven and just kind of melt some ghee, take a paper towel, rub it all over it, and I'll put it back in the oven. I think I'm gonna do 400 for an hour. There's a lot of mixed opinions on the internet. And I can't remember what I did when I first got them. My Lodge cast iron came pre-seasoned, and I would say it was truly pre-seasoned. Like I could use it immediately, and it worked great as far as like the non-stick component. We got some cast iron for our wedding that I registered for. Like I asked for it. I was super grateful whenever it came to us. So if you're watching this and you're the one who bought that for me, thank you so much, because we still use them all the time. But my point being that they were not as well seasoned like they were advertised, especially once I put it in comparison to the Lodge, which we got a year or two after we got married. So anyways, I had to season them when I first got them, and I don't remember how I did it. So we're kind of winging it, but I really think the point is to get some oil on there and get it like baked on there. And I think it needs to pass the smoke point. So I will see what that is for ghee, and we'll go from there.
Now you can see I have a piece of foil on the bottom rack just to catch anything that might drip, and you want to make sure that you put your pans in upside down.
Okay, they're in the oven now. I did decide to put it at 500. This is washing me out. Whatever. I'm gonna be washed out. Old house, bad lighting. You get the picture. I put them, I'm going to do it at 500. I'm actually starting at 400 for 30 minutes, and then I'm gonna see how they look because at this point I can kind of tell what it's supposed to look like, so I'll probably show you that. And then I may, depending on how they look, bump it up to 500 because the smoke point of ghee is 465. But I'm not a professional cook over here. We cook at home dinners, and however this turns out, even if I were to just leave it like this, it's not going to be the end of the world, truly. So that being said, we'll check on those in a little bit. I am going to now make my cornbread recipe. I'm going to take a look at it. I'm going to get all the stuff out, and then yeah, we'll just try. I don't know how this is going to turn out because it's a recipe that I tried before, like I said earlier, but I'm altering it from what I tried before. So we'll just have to see. But I need to use up the cornmeal anyway, and I haven't baked in forever, and I just love it and I want to. So, come on with me for that.
So this is not sourdough cornbread. I did not have eggs, and I completely forgot, so I had to wait until my husband was on his way home so he could get some for me. So in the meantime, I needed to use up this milk, and so I am just turning it into yogurt while I wait for that. Which I do have a video on how I made this before, so I'll be sure and link that down below if you want to watch the whole thing. Now my cast iron is very finished. I think this is actually the end of the evening, so the timing is not exactly correct, but I actually put on a little bit too much ghee. The way that it's not completely smooth like that, that's not really what you want. So if you season your cast iron, make sure that you put a really, really thin layer. Mine was a little too thick. And now I finally have my eggs, and we're starting my cornbread. So I just started with cornmeal and baking powder, mix it together to try to blend it all up together. And then I melted that butter while I got the rest of it going. And this is sourdough starter. I think I started with 1.5 cups, and then 1 cup of cornmeal, 2 eggs, get that all together. I started with 1/2 cup of butter. Obviously I melted more than that. My plan was to use more, and then I decided not to. And then I started with 1/2 cup of honey. That was me taste testing it. Needed a little more honey. And it was a little too runny, so I decided to add more cornmeal. I think that was almost a whole cup. And then a little bit more sourdough starter. Mix that all together. Taste test it again. So I use the rest of this butter just to grease my pan before baking. I do have the exact measurements for this, so I will be sure and list them down below if you want to try this recipe, even though I'm still perfecting it. And then into the oven she went. And then this is the yogurt the next day, but I wanted to go ahead and include it in on this video. I saw this on another video, another blogger, and she started straining off her way to make Greek yogurt and then adding regular milk back in. And so I thought I would try it. And honestly, we really love what it has done to the texture of the yogurt. So this is our new way of finishing off our yogurt, thanks to Farmhouse on Boone. obviously I needed to put some butter on here before trying it. So that's what I'm doing here. And then honestly, I was just too tired to talk to you while I taste tested this. So I did try it though, and it was pretty good. I still think I can tweak the recipe a bit, but I'm confident enough in it to share it. And if you don't like it, well, sorry about that, but I did enjoy it. So join me next time for another video.